That's right, Mother Hubbards. We are about to enter a brand new wrestling year, and I am pumped, mostly, because 2022 was so crazy, I kind of want to leave it in the rearview mirror and just move on. It somehow has left WWE in good stead, though, to the point I, Simon Miller, think they may be about to have their best year yet. That's right, I said it. Why? Here's why. So in good old YouTube fashion, we will break this up into segments and we'll kind of do it chronologically, because we will start with the Royal Rumble that's going down in January, and not only has it already broken sales records for that damn show, I think they're absolutely gonna smash it. Because the rumor at the moment, and it is a pie in the sky idea, is that WWE would like to have The Rock as a surprise entrant. He wins the Royal Rumble before he challenges Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39. And I'm sorry, we could sit here till the end of time, you ain't gonna be able to come up with a scenario better than that. And I know there's naysayers out there who go like, well, I don't want to see Dwayne Johnson in this position, but he is one of the biggest stars in the world. And if you did pull the trigger on this, you are gonna get coverage, you are gonna do numbers, and the whole company as an entity is gonna explode. I mean, seriously, if we sit here and put on our thinking caps, come up with a better surprise than that. Now, I actually can do this. His name would be Repo Man, but we ain't getting Repo Man in 2023, so the great one is gonna have to do. The best part is, even if Rocky can't do this, you have a bunch of options. Because you could have Cody Rhodes as a surprise entrance, he wins the thing, he comes back from his pec tear, he goes on to WrestleMania 39 and potentially becomes the world champion, and you don't think that's a good story? We're watching different shows. There's also guys like Bron Breakker that can make a massive impact, and when we jump across to the women's one, everything seems to be geared towards the fact that Becky Lynch could win the thing and then finally challenge Ronda Rousey for their big one-on-one match. We've been waiting for this for about 5 years. So on paper, there's just so many potentially great things we could do. Here's another one, for example. You could have Rhea Ripley win it, and then she takes on Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 39. And you have to have done something right to have this many directions to walk in, and every single one to make you feel warm and fuzzy in your tum-tum. Hence why I'm pumped about the year. It also moves us on to WrestleMania, and we've already talked about this a little bit, but look at what the card could be. Because we have already mentioned The Rock versus Roman Reigns, we've done Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley, we've done Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey, but there is Gunther versus Brock Lesnar that people are talking about. You could do Logan Paul versus John Cena, which is absolutely absurd. And apparently Stone Cold Steve Austin wants to do it again. And it may even be against CM Punk. Now, I totally get that's a long shot and who the hell knows what's going to happen, but as we have talked about before, there was some chatter about this a few weeks ago, and everybody wasn't like, well, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. They nodded, and they thought to themselves, yeah, I can see it. Sometimes there's no smoke without fire. And this is not only massive because of that, but how in the hell are WWE and Punk gonna get on the same page, given their relationship, and if he did challenge the Rattlesnake, this has genuinely been 10 years in the making. You can go back to 2013 when WWE was teasing this. Makes me go a bit frazzled. There's also other things you could throw onto Mania, such as Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre. I would love to see that. And I also think this ties into how Triple H sees premium live events. Because for a long old while, they just felt like extensions of the television show. But ever since Paul Levesque took over, they're starting to feel special again. And that seems set to continue in 2023, because not only are we going to get more shows in stadiums, not only are we going to get another UK event, but the WWE is going to go to India, the WWE is going to go to Australia, and even though the Saudi Arabia shows are controversial at best, have you seen the quality of the last two? They're increasing as well. I mean, do not forget about Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns. You could have done that match at WrestleMania and nobody would have blinked an eye because they hit the level that was required. Well, that's not true. If you did Logan Paul at the main event at WrestleMania, the internet would crash, we'd never see it again. But there is a big plus side to that. No more Twitter. The more we can do this, though, the more they feel separated from Raw and SmackDown, and that is so damn important, because when everything starts to merge into one, do you know what the overriding feeling is? Holy crud. There is so much wrestling on television, and it's wearing me out a bit. And you don't want to be worn out. You want to be excited about this stuff. which is why I also appreciate the fact that Triple H mostly has taken pay-per-views down to around about 3 hours. It's what wrestlers use in order to create their edge as well. I'm not talking about Adam Copeland, but he too will be back in 2023, and think about all the stars who are ready to break out. I mean, there's Bron Breakker, Roxanne Perez, Carmelo Hayes, Sola Sikoa, Montez Ford will probably split from the Street Profits, and he'll smash it too. You could actually introduce a brand new character every single month. And don't forget, that's the lifeblood of wrestling. You need that filter. Which also actually ties in very nicely to the best thing about 2022, the Bloodline. Because next year, or this year, depending on when you're watching this video, that's going to implode as well, and we're going to get to our culmination. I think it's going to be terrific. Because the whole story has been like watching a movie trilogy that needs a payoff, and if it does actually end with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens teaming up to beat the Usos at WrestleMania, that ties into the WrestleMania stuff again. I'm not sure I'd be able to handle that card, it's too good. I also bet that Owens goes after Reigns at the Royal Rumble, and then Sami Zayn goes after Roman at that Montreal show in February. And while the way I've just booked it means that the good guys are going to lose, if it means they eventually come back together again as the best of friends, well, I will cry. Water from my eyes. I'd also actually be fine if one of them did beat Roman Reigns, but once again it ties into the title of this video. We've got a plan A, beat the head of the table, and we've got a plan B, beat the Usos, and both make me do the dance of joy. So I'm joyful. There's also a bunch of out of left field predictions we could talk about as well. For example, Big E could make a return, and oh my gosh, my heart will shatter to 1,000 pieces. Charlotte Flair has to make a comeback. Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy have to do something big. And we'll bring WrestleMania in again, because we're probably going to get Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio. And that thing has been built brilliantly too. I mean, we've really only touched on the first half of the year here, but when you get to part 2, we're going to get a SummerSlam, which will also be massive. And you could even hold Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns off to that premium live event, and that's when the American Nightmare wins. Come August, I'm going to have to lay down. We will finish there as well, because if Roman is able to get to SummerSlam with the Universal title still in his possession, he will have been the champion for 1,095 days. Or roughly. Now that is incredible, because it would actually move him up the longest reigns ever list, where he would overtake Pedro Morales, who back in the day held a similar title for 1,027 days. It also moves the Tribal Chief into the 5th place ever, which is madness, especially in a 2022 setting. And if WWE wanted to hold this off for a few more months, he would even usurp Bruno Sammartino. Now, I'm not talking about the massive one that was like 7 million days, that will always be number 1, but he had another reign that lasted 1,237 days. Now, while I don't think WWE is going to do this, the fact that it's on the cards, I think it's a big deal. I know not everybody likes this, but to me, it's like a bad joke. At first, you're like, ha ha ha, well, that was bad. Then it actually becomes bad, but then you keep telling it, for some reason, it becomes funny again. I actually love that we've done this with Roman Reigns. He is officially the end-of-level boss. And imagine when somebody beats him. Just to throw in one last aside as well, there are so many little changes that we're going to get over the next 12 months that I already think are going to make for a better WWE. Take the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view or premium live event. Paul Levesque has already come out and said, well, we're not going to do those anymore because the Hell in a Cell should be a blow-off match for a feud and not something we just throw out there willy-nilly. And if we take this same thought process and just copy and paste it everywhere, it's going to make for a better product. It also makes me more excited about the Elimination Chamber and whatever we do with Money in the Bank, because I just think now management is seeing the same way that the fans see it. When you have that synergy, good times are ahead. I'll be completely wrong now, but again, that's not the point of this video, is to get really excited and ride that wave. So I just think that 2023 on paper has the potential to be so damn good as long as we get everything right. That's why I'm so excited about it. Sometimes it's nice to get the positivity cannon and fire it into the abyss. And that's what we've done today. And doesn't it feel good? Now, look, this is the most important part. Make sure you leave a comment below and no negativity. Tell me why you think 2023 will be the best year ever for WWE. And you can go crazy with your fantasy booking. That's why it's fun to be a fan. Also, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Head over to whatculture.com and make sure you support the website. Follow us on social media at WhatCultureWWE and Simon at 316. There's a lot of videos, why videos, review videos, ups and downs videos, list videos. Make me feel less lonely by giving them a watch. My name is Simon What Culture. I truly do hope you have a wonderful 2023 and wrestling brings you all the joy, because that's why we watch. Take care of yourself. See you soon.